Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Grevin coming to you from Chicago. As usual, I've got a couple of delicious clips here for you. There's so much going on, I can't even get to it all. But we have a good old-fashioned sovereign citizen show up in front of Judge Washington over there in Washtenaw County, which is good. She should have a playlist, but I don't think she does. I don't know if I could find all the videos that she's appeared in at this point, but there's that. And then I've got a special treat for you, a delicious rant. I should do this real quick. The first clip was sent to me by Eve, and the second one was put together for me by Marion. Thank you very much for both of those. Let's get this party started, shall we? From the secret headquarters of the Sovereign Citizen Patrol, initiating video production sequence. We are no longer playing. So let's get revved up. It's time for Law Talk with Mike.
State of Michigan versus Gregory Simmons, 20 FB 1859.
Kyle Burdell for the people. Andrew Banis on behalf of Mr. Simmons. Mr. Simmons, could you state your name, please?
Gregory Simmons, Gregory Andre Simmons Jr.
Thank you, sir.
The man and not the entity.
Of course.
Mr. Banis, we're here today because your client is violated the terms of his probation when he was before me, before absconding as the man or the entity or whatever. At that point in time, I gave him an opportunity to re-engage in the MRT program, report to probation, and make payments towards his fees. He failed to appear at the next court hearing instead and went on abscond status and has been that way until August 19th when he appeared before the magistrate. So he has not completed any of the things that he was supposed to do.
Your Honor, if the issue is a hearing or not, I believe he is not requesting a hearing and is going to admit the allegations. I know he is asking for one more chance to re-engage in MRT and do what he has to do. He's been working two jobs. Well, I'm sorry. I'll stop there until if the hearing is an issue.
All right. Mr. Simmons, I believe that doesn't say here that you were arraigned on this, but you're before this court for a violation of probation. You're entitled to have a hearing on that matter, at which time, if it is shown that you violated the terms of your probation, you could be sentenced to the original maximum penalties in this case. The allegations are that you failed to re-engage in the MRT program, failed to report to probation, failed to make any payments towards your fines and costs. Do you understand those allegations, sir?
Yes, Ms. Washington.
Thank you. Understanding those, sir, do you know what you would like to do with respect to the hearing? Do you want to hold the hearing, waive your right to have the hearing, and admit, or what would you choose to do?
I'll waive my right and admit.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Sir, did you fail to re-engage in the MRT program?
Yes.
Did you fail to report to probation?
Yes.
And you failed to make any payments towards your fines and costs?
No.
You did make payments?
Yeah, I just came in this morning and made a payment. I was trying to figure out the remittance way to go about it that way, but I didn't figure it out in time, so I just made it cash.
And how much did you make?
I thought the fees and fines you pushed upon me was 150. When I got there, it was 560. So I just paid the 150.
Okay.
Okay, I'll listen. I have to pop back in here because I forgot, and it's a perfect segue to this. He said, "I thought the fees and costs were 160, so I just paid 150." Okay, so you still didn't pay it. You still didn't pay the amount that you admit that you thought it was, and you thought wrong. She told you, and that is what we call here at Law Talk with Mike 100% fraudery. Let's carry on.
I actually wrote an apology letter to the officers as well. I finished most of the book on my own.
So in this case, what I gave you was an opportunity to complete the MRT program, do a letter of apology. You were on the Wayne County probation?
That was before this case incident, like before this happened.
Well, I think you had told me you were still doing it because I wrote in here, follow Wayne County probation.
That was over. They dismissed the probation after this incident came about.
You were supposed to do urine drops and then you came back in October. You had violated, gave you an opportunity, reinstated your MRT, and told you to pay your fines and costs.
Yeah, the violation was only because I have the evidence to prove that my uncle had passed away, and I complied with the course. I told everybody what was going on, and then when I tried to log back into the class, she wanted me to start all over. I just don't have the energy then. You remember I was waiting outside the court for like 8 weeks before they finally had a space for me again in the class. Like, I was over it. I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Honestly, I don't.
Judge, he was over it and he didn't want to do it. Oh, okay.
I want to do it.
You know what the option is?
I thought I had free will. I don't know what the option is. Jail?
Well, you're going to have the free will to go to jail. That's what your free will is going to be.
Well, I don't want to go to jail, of course. That's not going to help anybody out in this situation.
I don't know. It helped me feel better.
I have my first child on the way. I've been dealing with that. Me and the mother haven't been getting along. So my mind has been a little off, honestly, dealing with this situation. This would be my first child. And obviously, I wasn't planning on it to go this way. So I've been dealing with that the best way possible. I haven't been using any illegal substances as well. I didn't even know that you guys really wanted me to drug test.
Yeah.
I'm just overwhelmed with everything.
You myself. I told you. You told me that you were using marijuana and that your levels were going to go down. So you did know. I have specific notes about our conversation.
I forgot I have so much on my mind, so much on my plate. Like, I can't remember everything I say. I can't remember everything.
I like that. He really probably does. He does have a lot on his mind. For instance, he's got a problem in Wayne County. He's probably got Judge Bryant smacking him around over there, and he smokes too much dope, which is why he's in testing. So, you know, in his defense, he's really got a lot on his plate.
Everything I'm supposed to do every day. I have so much going on right now. I'm not trying to make it excuses or anything. I just want the situation to be over with. If you're requesting jail time, how much time are you requesting? Like I said, my baby be here like.
I love this one too. I'd like this situation to be over with. Right. You're being prosecuted for some criminal offense. Nobody wants that. You'd all like to get through it. She's trying to give you a way to do that.
5 weeks. So
Not a request, sir.
My baby will be here in like 5 weeks. I just want to be here when she's born. I don't want to be incarcerated if I don't have to be.
Then stop doing stupid
All right.
stuff.
Like I said, like the whole situation. If my uncle would have never passed, I would have been done with the situation. I would have completed the classes and everything. I never asked for her to make me start over. I'll communicate.
So you see, it's clearly all his dead uncle's fault. Yeah, I mean, really, she should just dismiss him. Maybe give him an award. Let him walk out right now.
With you guys, like, It just felt like it was excessive, a little excessive to make me start over when I was complying and my uncle passed away. And I had like no compassion with starting the classes at where I was.
I find that he has made a factual basis for the violation and that it was willingly and knowingly made. Are you satisfied, Mr. Burdell?
I was satisfied as to the violation, Your Honor.
All right.
I love that the prosecutor says exactly what I'm thinking. Like, yes, there's a factual basis that he violated probation, and he did give that. But everything else he said was 100% fraudery, and that's what the prosecutor just sort of conveyed there.
As to the sentencing, is there anything you want to say on behalf of your client, Mr. Bannis?
Your Honor, I have nothing in addition to what I said previously and what he said. I mean, although I will.
He doesn't want to do MRT, so.
And I was just about to say on that point that I believe he should do it, and because, and hopefully he'll be given a chance to do it because he was sentenced to 365 days suspended, well, with 4 days credit. He now has maybe 1 extra day credit, and a year in jail is really going to, and I'm really speaking to Mr. Simmons, upwards of a year in jail is really going to be disruptive to his life, I mean.
Apparently he has a new case before me as well, where he is alleged to have been.
Oh, sweet Jesus. After all this whining and not complying with the lenient terms of this, we find out he's got another case.
Driving without a license and was involved in an accident.
Let's see. I'm looking that up.
Yeah.
I haven't had my license since I was 20 years old.
Should probably not say any more about that case, sir.
I love the understatement of that. Okay, your other pending charge is driving while license suspended. Why are you announcing in open court that you haven't had a license for a long time? That's just not smart.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm not finding that immediately. Was he arraigned on that?
Was he arraigned on? Was he arraigned on that matter?
I'm looking right now, Your Honor. He's got a show cause scheduled for the 19th before Judge Perry.
Is that Ms. Johnson? Is that a city case or a state case?
City.
Okay, that explains why I'm not finding it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, sir, like your attorney just advised you, this carries a maximum of 365 days in the Washtenaw County Jail. And since you have decided you don't want to do the MRT program,
I will do it. I just didn't want to start all the way over. And I complied with the court. I told you guys exactly that was going on. Everything. I still have my uncle's obituary.
Oh, you know, that's cute, Mr. Simmons, but it's not about your feelings. There are rules, and apparently you screwed up, so you have to start over, whether you want to or not. It's that or jail.
And once everything was over and died down a little bit, I tried to enroll back into the class.
you've told me that
kicked
4
me
times.
out.
You've told
Yeah,
me
she kicked me out and told me I had to get back in contact with the courts or something. And then it was just like, why do I have to start over when I comply with everything that was going on? It just doesn't seem fair.
How many days credit does your client have, Mr. Bannis?
5, including the 4 at sentencing.
Apparently he doesn't understand.
Understand what, man?
First of all, I was talking to you, kept talking over me.
I'm sorry.
That's what
Secondly,
I'm told.
you keep telling me the same thing that I've already heard. I understand that you don't think it's fair that you start over, but I don't determine when you start over. That's up to the program. And if they say you start over, you start over.
I didn't know that.
You know which part?
Now you do, Goofy.
I didn't know the part that it was up to the program. If I have to start over, like I said, I complied. I told everybody what was going on.
Okay.
I'm willing to do the class. I don't want to go to jail for a year. I don't have the time. I don't want to miss a year of my child's life for this situation. I really don't.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before I sentence you, sir?
I apologize once again to the courts for everything that transpired. That's it.
That covers it, Kathy.
My fear is that you don't get it. This is not an option. You got an option, I guess, to either do the program or go to jail. Which one do you choose?
I'll choose to do the program.
Miss Johnson, you say he has a show cause before Judge Perry. What is that date?
It was the 19th. Let me just double check that date again.
Yesterday?
It was yesterday at 10 a.m.
And it doesn't say whether did you attend that show cause before Judge Perry yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. They pushed it out into November the 19th, I believe, or November 18th. And she wants me to try and get my license by then and the driving incident to be dismissed.
I'm going to bring you back here on October the 18th, 2022. And that's at 10 a.m. in person.
You said it's going to be in person?
That's correct. You need to be in that program by then, sir.
So what, I have to reach back out into probation and try and get back enrolled into the class?
That's correct.
I put the number for community corrections in the chat to you so you can give them a call once you hang up with us.
All right.
If you're not in that program, sir, then you can anticipate that
You
there
guys are
will be
cracking me up in the
consequences.
So are you willing to give me the whole 365 or?
We're not having that discussion.
All right.
Thank you. See you on October 18th.
All right.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or the dogs get it.
Case number.
Oh, yes. We're in the 36D, but don't tell anybody, okay? Don't shh.
Oh, he's just too cool for me. I can't even, I won't even be able to take. Is he driving with the top down? What's going on right here, right now with your boss? What's going
Man,
on?
I wish I was that guy right there.
He's the man.
Is he driving
That's
with
where I
the
want
top
to be.
down? I just, and the hat is not flying off and he got a cup in it. He doing too much. Call him and tell him I'm putting him back in that room. And call him and tell him that the judge is on here clowning him. He got up down. His hat is staying in place. That was too much for me. Okay.
And I don't have electricity, so I'm just going to step away from my device for 1 second.
I really like tell him and call him that the judge is clowning on him. Well played, Judge Bryant.
Okay, it's going to be longer than a second, but okay. Thank you. Mr. Reed, I just want to ask a question.
Top down, summer in the city. Back in my getting black and pretty. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, you know what, y'all.
I can't wait to be like Mr. Reed, Judge.
Mr. Reed, I want to know, was the top down in the vehicle?
That's a little blood, sweat, and tears, yo.
Yes, Your Honor. From
And
the
then, but the hat didn't fly off. How the hat don't fly off when the top is down?
I had my hats perfectly fitted to my head. So they stick to the stubbles. I don't have hair anymore. They stick to the stubble so the hat won't fly off.
Even when you driving in a car with the top down.
This attorney is charming as hell. He just is. He really is. He's gotta keep sort of sucking up to her, but it's the right thing to do for his client, and he feels it in his heart. You'll see as this progresses. She goes on a rant. She's right, and he gets out of her way, and it's helping his client tremendously.
Now, probably was speeding. I mean, I'm just
real fast.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I guess we all want to be like that when we grow up. This is Kate. All right. Today's the day set for review, Mr. Schiatti.
Judge, that's correct. The defendant was placed on probation on September 17th of last year. It would make it about a year later, and that's what was his term on probation. The probation department continues to be disappointed because the defendant is not in compliance. We had a review on April 18th. We spoke about disappointment at that time. It was adjourned till May 5th. We had another review. This court graciously gave him the benefit of reducing the monies owed from $920 for him to do 46 hours of community service and pay $460. Now, since that 4 months ago, we're here today for review. Those are the only two issues left. I've been in contact with the defendant a couple times. He knows that he had to do both, and he did pay the $460. But we don't have any proof of the community service. I looked at the notes. It looks like he didn't go through our department to schedule community service. He knows about it, but we don't have any proof of it. It's disappointing that Mr. Reed's got to keep defending this person for noncompliance unless he can show proof to the court that the defendant completed the 46 hours of community service.
Mr. Reed?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gotti is correct. He's been most gracious in terms of doing it. My client has tried to comply with the community service, but unfortunately, he's not been able to find any particular positions that would allow him to be able to comply. He is severely disabled. He's trying to work his way into it, and he's trying to imagine that he can do certain things, but then he finds out that he's not able to physically. So he's asking the court respectfully, I guess, just to pay fines and costs. I know the court was very kind in terms of giving him the option of doing community service, but he's not able to do it. He wants to. His mind wants to do it, but his body will not allow.
That's not the truth.
You don't think so?
I don't believe it. You said he's severely disabled and people out here was running with no legs. I mean, what do you mean? If we had an Olympic person that didn't even have legs, people out here, you when you watch the different things, people operating blind. We have a blind Supreme Court justice. We got people with no arms. We got people with no legs. I mean, listen, excuses. Oh my goodness. Excuses are the tools of the weak and incompetent. Those who use excuses build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothingness. I didn't write the poem. I just recite the poem because it helps me not use excuses. He is not so severely disabled that he can't do community service. We can sit in a chair and do community service. We can do some stuff. We can go to the Capuchin soup kitchen and sit behind the counter and pour the coffee into the cups and do community service. Service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy. We're breathing on this earth. We can do some community service. Oh, yes, we can. Now, the only reason he has those community service hours is because, you know, he wanted me to convert them because he couldn't pay all the money. I don't like to play volleyball, nor do I play ping pong, nor do I play tennis. I play none of those sports. And you asking me to play one of them, to have this ball bouncing back and forth, pay the money, do community service. Come on and pull yourself together, because let me tell you what you can do.
You go ahead and talk.
You get ready. You want me to tell you what you can do?
I just had surgery 5 months ago.
I remember when I had surgery.
I can barely walk. I just started walking.
Talk when she's talking.
Oh,
I had surgery.
Listen to the court.
Go ahead and give me all these excuses. That's probably
The attorney is absolutely saving his client right now.
going to land you in the Houston. Go ahead, I'm listening. You had surgery. What's the other excuse? You had surgery. You could barely walk.
Excuses. I went on my fault. I went down to the city, the 36th district, and paid the $400. And I've been trying to pay the money for. It wasn't on the files, so I called your courtroom. Had the lady put it in the computer so I could pay the money. I mean, I'm trying to get it together here. You know, like I said, I just started walking. I'm barely getting around, and I am in a lot of pain. I had 2 surgeries, so I'm not safe.
I have somebody who's getting ready to have surgery, and they're like, I think I'm only going to try to be off for about a week, and then I think I'm going to just try to push through and go back to work. And, you know, I mean, I might be in some pain, but, you know, I don't want the people to have to, you know, blah, 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 blah. Then one of my colleagues had a stroke. He had a whole stroke, and then they released him from the hospital on Friday, and I saw him walking down the hall on Monday. I wanted to kick him in the back, but I couldn't because it's illegal. People who want to do stuff, they do it. People who don't want to do stuff, they find excuses. Ooh, I could barely walk. Ooh, I can be, ooh, my back hurt. Oh, my toe hurt. Oh, the corner of my toenail hurt. Oh, I got a headache. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got this right here. Oh, this is what's hurting. Let me tell you, you can keep on messing with me. But let me just let you know that probation, it was the alternative to jail.
Right.
And therefore, jail is the alternative to probation. Now, as much as I respect your lawyer, as much as I believe in him, as much as I think that he's probably trying to tell you the right thing to do or whatever, I will lock you up. I will lock you up, and they will put you on that medical ward. They'll mark your file medical, and they'll put you on the medical ward, and I won't even have to worry about whether you could do community service or not, whether you can get up and walk, whether you can make it to the comments. I won't have to worry about that because that will no longer be my issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop making excuses, because we could sit in a chair and do community service. We could sit somewhere and stuff some envelopes for a nonprofit. We could sit somewhere and serve coffee to the seniors at the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. We could sit in a chair and pack boxes for the Forgotten Harvest. Oh, it's some community service that we can do that does not require legs. It does not require standing. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect with Miss Green, and she's going to see what your restrictions may be in light of the fact that you might have to go to jail if you can't do this community service. She's going to check your restrictions, and then she's going to find an appropriate place for you to do community service. Otherwise, it's not going to be community service. It's going to be the alternative to probation. Now, I have people that come in here and they knock it out the ballpark. They come at the first review, they finish with everything. They want to hurry up and get off probation. Then I have some people who like coming and visit me. And they just keep on coming back until my patience wear out. Now, Mr. Seals, I'm a believer in grace and mercy. And every time you have come here, grace and mercy have been in the room. But I'm going to tell you that they're beginning to pack their bags. They're packing their bags. They're headed for the door. And then it's no longer going to be grace and mercy in this room with me. And when grace and mercy leaves the room, you go to jail. So you can keep on saying, I can't, I won't, I can't, my back hurt, my toe hurt. Take some Advil. Take some Tylenol, and let's get the community service done. Get a scooter, get a walker, get something else.
And he used to ask him, can he pay today? You know, he has the money to pay, but
I don't want his money.
Okay, that's fine.
If y'all know something about me, money is the least thing that I'm concerned about on probation because I don't fashion myself a collection agent. I hate when the police people call you trying to collect money.
That's right. The court is correct. I can't argue with you, Judge. That's the only problem I have in this courtroom is I can't argue with you.
For real, Mr. Reed?
I get paid to argue, but I can't argue with you.
Why not? You can argue.
It makes sense. And how do you argue with something that makes sense? I mean, I can't argue against that.
So
I'm
we
just myself. When can I have you at my church? The young people.
Whenever our schedules allow, Mr. Reed.
I want that to happen because you make sense.
All right.
Okay.
Now, how long is it going to take for Mr. Seals to get himself together enough to do this community service?
All I owe is 20 hours. I can do 20 hours. I mean, I could try to find somewhere to do 20 hours. I mean, but I had the cash to pay. I would like to. I
already said no to the cash. Don't ask me for the cash no more.
I'm trying to get things in order. And I mean, you know, I just want to get this case over. It's been almost 2 years.
Okay, answer her question. You answered yours. Her question is, how long is it going to take you to do 20 hours?
I have no idea. I don't know how they set up. I don't know. I really don't.
Mr. Schiotti,
yes.
Mr. Schiotti does not have any proof of any community service. Now, Mr. Seals is saying apparently he did 26 hours.
Yeah, I did at Focus Hope.
Did you submit the documentation?
Yeah, I sent it to Mr. Scotty, emailed it to him.
Judge, if I can respond to your request, is let's clarify things. So when we have the next review, we can all come to the same page, and hopefully that we can discharge the defendant properly. It's on the probation order to do 6 days community service. I don't want any confusion here. He completed that 6 days community service. I don't want Mr. Reed or the defendant to try to tie it in to the next batch of community service. The old community service has been done. We're happy. We're satisfied. It's the point that the court made on May 5th. He owed $920. Very simple. $460 cash, 46 hours community service. The issue is he needs to do 46 hours of community service. Now he can contact Ms. Green, and she perhaps he can play checkers and help people in a nursing home. I mean, the court made a very, very clear distinction that there's a lot of things to do that he get done, and we're hopeful that the defendant can comply by the next review.
You're not listening. That was on the other probation.
No, it wasn't. It was on this one.
Stop, Seals. Okay, Your Honor. So 46 hours he has to give. He understands that. Right, Mr. Seals?
Yes.
And how long is it going to take you to do 46 hours of community service or go to jail? How long?
I have no idea. But
no. We don't want to hear that.
Let me just explain.
I don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. You just have to say 46 hours. How long is it going to take you to do it?
Well, I'm going to give him 6 more months to do it. I'm going to set a review for 3 months.
3 months. Well, how long can you do it? Can you do it faster than that?
Yes, I can.
Well, when I ask you, let me say this to you. Let me say this. Now, listen here. I'm sick of you now. Now, when we sat up here and asked you, how long was it going to take you? You would not give us an answer. No, don't interrupt me. You interrupt me one more time, you going to jail for 46 days. Now interrupt me one more time. We asked you several times, how long is it going to take you? Well, how much time do you need? How long is it going to take you? You would not give an answer.
I really need the Samuel L. Jackson say what one more time clip.
Now, when I gave an answer, now all of a sudden, that's not the time you want. Well, let me say this to you, Mr. Seals. Grace has left the room, packed up and left. You're going to do this community service. I'm going to set this review date And if you haven't done the community service, mercy is going to be gone as well, and you're going to jail.
We're sorry we wore the patience of this court, but this court is very patient. I understand that. So whatever date you give, Your Honor, will be done by Mr. Seals. Otherwise, he understands he's going to jail. Real
Court
clear.
is going to set a review date for Monday, December the 12th. Strike it. Strike that. Monday, December 19th.
19th, right before Christmas. Okay. That's fine, Your Honor.
Yeah, he can help the good fellows and the good fellow dials and all that and whatnot.
That's good. This will be my last time appearing for him on the 19th. That's it for me.
You're welcome.
All right.
Anything further?
Nothing further. We appreciate you, Gordon. Please, Your Honor, you did a good job. Don't be mad and take it out on other people because of
Oh,
me.
I never do. I switch right back. Grace and mercy comes back. All right.
Thank you. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Bye-bye. Keep up the good work, too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge. It was good seeing you, Mr. Reed.
Good seeing you.
All right.
Well, there you have it. I had that clip. Thanks again to Marion who put that together. It was like edited down, and I just played it. There's a link to that directly. I didn't talk over it too much, but I needed that therapy after the sovereign citizen. He just dabbled in sovereign citizen. He just like tried it. Like he announces himself with the sovereign citizen nonsense, but then turns around and pleads guilty, and then just whines and whines and whines about his uncle. And Judge Washington handled that very well. She did. She wasn't having it, but it was even more fun to watch Judge Bryant go on a rant based on similar excuses. Sometimes it's just too fun. Thank you all for coming out. There's so much going on. I might have to do another one today. I'm not sure yet, but I might have to do another one because there's so many of my people misbehaving currently. I don't know if I can squeeze that in because I have some things this afternoon, but we shall see. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you soon.